All right. All right, guys. Let me get on and oh yeah, let me change the who's the best girl? You are. All right. Yes, that's my Viroid version of Sayaka-chan combat version that I did not too long a few hours ago. All right, now let's video display capturing LG, and I got all right, yeah, yeah, and there we go. Okay, there we go. Need let me get on here and tell everybody we're live. Oh boy. Okay, well I'll have to say, I gotta say, let me get on here and oops. Copy link. Alright, post. Where? Oh man, I'd help if I could type worth a flip. Come join. Come join. Alright. Paste. Post. Spookies, come join us. Okay. And copy. All right. Let's do a post real quick. Image. Nope, wrong one. Let's see. Downloads. There we go. Paste. All right. All right. And do this real quick. Come on. Do your channel. Come on. Copy link. Paste. All right, post. All right, there we go. All right. And we is good to go. Anybody who wants to come join me in chat can join me. I will be able to see, I'll be using both my monitors. Let me move Sayaka here. And you know what? I will minimize this real quick. See, system, sound, volume mixer. All right. All right. There's that. Close this. And yeah, she vibing. She is vibing. All right, good. All right, take that. All right, guys. Thought I'd do one more tonight before I probably did something with Dad if he wakes up. So I guess we'll see. All right, and then we're not gonna be in here very long. We're not gonna be here very long. We're just gonna probably just do two. So we're gonna start it off with the man himself, Sir Spooks. He's got a new one released. 17 scary videos that'll make you feel watched. So that's 52 minutes and 41 seconds. And then we've got Goose Pimples. So they're not too long. So we'll see. And if we want to do something else, we'll do something else. We'll see. We'll see if I've got time. But yeah, let's start with Sir Spooks. 17 scary videos that'll make you feel watched. As always, links to the original description of the videos will be in the description box below when I'm done broadcasting. Okay, guys? All right, you guys ready? I know I am. So without further ado, away we go.
Hello everyone, my name is Sir Spooks, and today we'll take a look at 17 scary videos. But before we begin, make sure to subscribe to my channel for more scary content. Alright, with that said, let's begin.
Oh my. Oh my.
Over on TikTok, a user known as Sea Monkey posted a video in June of 2026
Sea Monkey, okay.
in which she is simply sitting and relaxing in what appears to be some sort of office building where she works. However, just through the door in front of her and a little way down the hallway is something genuinely creepy that startles the uploader, and is presumably the reason why she started filming in the first place.
There isn't supposed to be anyone here. Ooh.
Right here, you can see some sort of eerie face peeking out at her from behind a wall before quickly disappearing from view. The figure looks like it may be wearing some kind of robe or hood, partially concealing its face, but we still get a brief glimpse of what appears to be underneath, and it's terrifying. What makes the footage particularly strange is the way the figure seems to be watching her from a distance, remaining mostly hidden behind the wall rather than stepping fully into view. Whether this was someone trying to frighten her, a co-worker pulling an elaborate prank, or something she genuinely couldn't explain, there's simply not enough footage to know for sure. Of course, there's also the possibility that the whole thing was simply staged as a hoax for this particular video. As for exactly who or what this figure was and why it was lurking there is anybody's guess. In the description of the post, she asks if she should quit her job, and after seeing what appears to be watching her from that hallway, I think the answer is yes.
Okay, you had me there for a minute until I saw the figure that she was recording. Guys, if you look on YouTube, there are scare pranks with that particular visage being used, with that particular picture being used. It's a cutout, and they tape it onto the corner of a door frame, and it's a jump scare reaction prank. That's fine, Sean. You're all right, dude. Welcome to the chat, by the way. But yeah, that's a jump scare prank that a lot of people have done. So yeah, I'm saying either there's not supposed to be anyone else here. Well, somebody else is obviously there, because they're pulling this prank on her, and either that or she did it herself. So yeah, fake.
We all kind of collectively agree that our attics are the scariest and creepiest places in our homes.
Wouldn't know. I've not been up there.
But we don't ever really know why we feel that way. Well, after watching this next video, you're going to have a genuine reason to fear your attic from here on out. TikTok user Mia Thompson, aka Mia Makes Manifest, posted a video to her account in June of 2026 in which she explains that it's 2:30 in the morning and she keeps hearing a creepy noise coming from somewhere downstairs. She explains that she always keeps her cats in the room with her and keeps her door closed, so it can't be her cats making the noise. From here, she proceeds to leave her room and tries to figure out where the sound is coming from. She does a thorough search of her downstairs area, but is ultimately unable to find anything. Then, just a couple of seconds later, this happens.
Oh. Somebody's in her attic. Yeah, that's not something, that's someone. Alright, Sean.
As Mia starts to head back upstairs, you can hear a series of heavy footsteps seemingly coming from her attic. The footsteps are remarkably loud and continue for several seconds before stopping abruptly. A day later, Mia uploaded a second part to the video, which shows police officers searching her house, including the attic, but they're ultimately unable to find anyone or anything out of the ordinary. The fact that police apparently searched the attic without finding anyone only makes the original recording more difficult to explain. It's possible there was a more ordinary source for the noises, somewhere within the house, especially since sounds can sometimes travel in strange ways through walls and ceilings.
True.
But judging by the distinct rhythm of what Mia recorded, it certainly sounds a lot like someone walking around directly above her. To this day, Mia is completely unsure what those footsteps were or how they happened. Whatever was moving around up there seemingly vanished without leaving any obvious explanation behind. And after hearing those footsteps in the middle of the night, I bet you'll think twice about going anywhere near your attic again.
Well, I have to say that was pretty creepy. Like I said, it could be, no, that might have been staged, but someone may have broken into her attic and tried to get down, and they couldn't. And so then, but then again, police would have found evidence. I don't know. That's weird.
This next video we'll be looking at involves a case that you might have heard about throughout the years, as it's become one of the most widely publicized sightings of a potential UFO in history. The footage in question was filmed all the way back in January of 2011 in Jerusalem, in the middle of the night. We watch as multiple videographers from different locations throughout Jerusalem film the night sky ahead of them, all of them absolutely fascinated by something they can see above.
Holy shit. Oh, is that cool? You can almost hardly look at it. We've seen them in Mississippi like this, but never like
Whoa!
As you can see, a bright object appears to hover over the city before suddenly shooting upwards into the night sky at an incredible speed. What makes the incident particularly fascinating is that multiple pieces of footage supposedly captured the same event from different vantage points around Jerusalem. Supporters of the footage have pointed the apparent synchronization between several of these recordings, arguing that the object's movements line up, despite the videos being filmed from separate locations. If these really were independent recordings of the same event, it would make a simple, single-source CGI edit considerably harder to explain.
Yes, it would.
There's also the ambient audio and the reactions of the people behind the camera.
Yes, that's true.
Which appear to unfold alongside what we're seeing in real time.
That's right.
Of course,
that's
none
right.
of this by itself proves that the object was extraterrestrial.
True.
And skeptics have long questioned whether some or all of the recordings could have been staged. But the existence of multiple angles is a big part of why this particular UFO case has continued to generate so much discussion.
Yeah.
Many people from all around the world are still amazed by this incident to this day, and it's not hard to see why.
No, it's
If
not.
you've seen these pieces of footage before, what did you think when you first saw them?
No, I have never seen anything like that. You know, like he said, they're different video recordings, so it's going to be a whole lot more difficult to explain CGI out of the picture or AI out of the picture. Now, I was going to say, if it's something of this Earth or man-made, I really can't say that I agree with that. That the way it just shot up into the sky like that. That's no way that's man-made. Yeah. No.
A TikTok user known as RayRock9 posted a video to her profile on May 30th, 2026, in which she immediately explains that she just heard a noise coming from somewhere in her kitchen, which is why she started filming. We see her work her way into the kitchen, audibly panting and visibly shaking, having been so freaked out by what she witnessed. 2 of the cabinets are wide open, despite her not having opened them. It's here that she quickly races outside to get her husband for support, so he can have a look and see for himself what just happened. She tells him that she was simply enjoying a show on TV and sitting in her chair when she suddenly heard noises coming from the kitchen. When she heads back inside with her husband in tow, she finds this.
Freaking, I heard noises from the kitchen, and look.
Oh.
No, look. When I was just in here and there were only 2 cabinets open.
Come on.
No. See, I will show you the video. I literally took the video. I was in here. There were only 2 open.
Ooh.
Well, you dropped the F-bomb, so you must be serious.
Now, even more of the kitchen cabinets are somehow wide open, despite only 2 of them being open before she went outside to get her husband. Her husband looks completely perplexed and doesn't seem to believe her at first, but in a small funny moment says that she must be serious because she dropped the F-bomb. The strange part is that if the uploader's account is genuine, something apparently opened several more cabinets during the brief amount of time she was outside.
But who?
There could,
or
of course,
what?
be a perfectly ordinary explanation, or the entire situation could have been staged for the video.
That's true. You know, isn't it disappointing that in order to, with some of us to make our situation serious, we've got to drop the F-bomb? Is that pathetic or what? Absolutely pathetic. Yeah. I don't know. That's, I mean, I don't see any strings pulled or anything like that. So she might actually have some paranormal activity going on in her kitchen.
But judging solely by her frightened reaction, she certainly seems convinced that something unusual is happening inside her home.
Yeah.
What do you guys think happened here? Could some sort of ghostly presence have been responsible for opening the cabinets? And if so, why? Or is there a much simpler explanation for what we're saying?
Probably.
I'd love to hear your thoughts and theories down below.
Well, if it's a ghost, it obviously enjoys playing with her.
On May 26th, 2026, a TikTok user known as Real D's Dark Adventures 2 posted a video in which she is shown wandering around a field in the evening with a friend of hers to do some investigating for a new video. It doesn't take very long at all for some truly weird things to start happening.
See, right here.
I told you I was seeing something.
Ooh.
That's way in there, guys. Hold on. That's tall. Okay, this is up to my chest. Hello? What is that? Hello? That's not a dude. That's not a person. That's tall. Hello? It's blinking in and out, dude. It just did some weird cloaky thing. It's getting taller and cloaky weird. Yes. What am I catching right now? Guys,
Yeah.
it's so far away, I can't help that. But it's doing something.
Whoa.
It looks like a dog. It's got dog man face, dude. Hello?
Dude, don't call to it. If it's a dog, man, you don't want it coming over to where you are.
It stopped. Oh my god, it ducked.
Throughout the course of the video, we can see a creepy, tall, shadowy figure slowly making its way through the field in the distance. At one point, the uploader even calls out hello to the mysterious figure. But unsurprisingly, it doesn't respond to her and simply continues moving through the area. But as the video goes on, the mysterious figure remains visible in the distance, making this already eerie encounter even more unnerving. It may be difficult to make out because of the poor camera quality and limited lighting, but you can still see the dark figure moving through the field. Its features are virtually impossible to distinguish.
Potato 99 camera, like Arctic Hicks would say.
Leaving behind little more than a tall, human-like silhouette, wandering around in the darkness. Of course, given the distance and poor visibility, it's entirely possible that this was simply another person walking through the field. There's also the chance that the encounter was staged for the video.
True.
But if the footage is genuine, coming across an unidentified figure silently roaming around a field at night would certainly be a bizarre experience.
Yeah.
To this day, nobody's entirely sure who or what this figure was or what it wanted. But considering it never approached the two investigators, we can only hope that whoever was wandering through that field had friendly intentions.
Well, if it was the dog man and it had ill intentions, it would have charged them down. It would have charged them down. A lot of the dogman stories that I have read about and have listened to, a lot of them, they just want to be left alone. I get the feeling that if they are real, there are some are good, some of them might be good, some of them might be bad. I think if this was the dog man or one of them, it looks like he just wanted to be left alone. It was just moseying through the field, not wanting anything to do with them. I don't know. And he could be right. It could be staged. It could be staged.
This next video we'll be looking at today comes to us from an Indonesian TikTok user known as Travel with F, who posted a video showing some rather creepy footage captured by his security camera late at night. Throughout the video, the uploader films the screen displaying his security camera footage while another person can be heard alongside him, commenting on what they're seeing. As they look around the surveillance feed, it takes a little while before something unusual catches their attention. Eventually, the camera pans upward, and sure enough, something rather creepy is spotted.
Bebas. Terserah kalian guys, mau pilih
mobil yang mana? Tuh kan nggak ada.
Tidak bro, stiker.
Ooh.
Ini mah manusia.
Stiker matamu.
Manusia juri.
Ooh. That's not good. That's not good.
At the 22-second mark, you can see what appears to be a person's face peeking out from behind a banister. The mysterious figure remains almost completely still, seemingly staring directly toward the security camera as the two people behind the recording react to what they're seeing. To me, the pale, expressionless face almost resembles some sort of ghostly child. If we take the footage at face value, however, there's no way of knowing whether we're actually looking at something paranormal or simply a person lurking behind the banister.
True.
There's also the possibility the entire encounter was staged for the video. But things
True.
get even more alarming toward the end of the footage. After remaining in view for some time, the face suddenly retreats behind the banister and disappears completely, causing both people watching the security footage to immediately start screaming. If their reactions are genuine, it's definitely a disturbing thing to witness.
True.
There's clearly someone, or if you believe the uploader, perhaps something, hiding behind the banister and watching the camera. Whether this was an actual intruder, an elaborate hoax, or the ghostly presence it appears to be, is impossible to determine from the footage alone.
True.
What do you guys think was captured on camera that night? And what would you have done if it was you in this situation?
I probably want to know what was going on. But I have to say, I like this about Sir Spooks now. And he's done his best to do this in a lot of his videos that he's done. Have a compromise between being, this might be paranormal, to skepticism, or maybe it's real, maybe it's staged. He's really done his best to try and be as neutral as possible. And that's what I like about him and his channel.
Imagine you're in an airplane, traveling somewhere for a vacation or work trip, when you look out of the window directly next to you and spot something absolutely mind-blowing. Well, that's exactly what happened to this particular passenger while on a flight one day. The video in question sees the videographer filming out of the window next to him, and it's immediately clear what's captured his attention.
Oh, hello.
A saucer-shaped object can be seen flying through the sky alongside the airplane, seemingly keeping pace with it as the passenger continues to film. Its unusual shape definitely resembles the classic image of a flying saucer, which makes seeing something like this from thousands of feet in the air all the more bizarre. Of course, whether this was genuinely some sort of unidentified craft is another question entirely. With such limited footage and no additional information about the object, there's always the possibility of a hoax or some form of visual trickery.
True.
But if the video is genuine, it's certainly an extraordinary thing for a passenger to spot outside their window in the middle of a flight. If I was this guy on the plane that didn't film this for people to see, meaning I could only tell the story without any proof, I feel like nearly everybody would think I was lying. After all, it's definitely not every day you look out of an airplane window and see potential UFO seemingly flying right alongside you.
No, you don't. That's creepy.
Sita Comedy Pearson uploaded a video to her TikTok profile in May of 2026, which documents some security camera footage filmed inside her home in the middle of the day. The footage starts off very normally as we see Sita and another family member just chilling in the kitchen and going about their day as usual, when out of nowhere, something truly bizarre happens. Right here, you can see one of the cabinets in the kitchen seemingly open all by itself, much to the bewilderment of Sita and her family member. They look utterly stunned and can only sit there in silence for a few moments as they try to process what they just witnessed.
Okay. Now, the way the lighting is positioned, they could easily have a wire attached to the door, and when they opened the refrigerator door, the door of the cabinet could open too, and it could be hidden really well. But I have to say, the looks on their faces tell me that that's not true. I don't know.
On its own, the cabinet opening could potentially have a fairly
Here's
ordinary
Saga.
explanation. Perhaps it simply wasn't closed properly and gradually came loose, although the timing is definitely strange enough to catch both of them completely off guard. A second video was then posted a month later,
Second video.
this one having been filmed in the middle of the night. We see the house sitting completely still and quiet, while everyone is apparently asleep upstairs. However, in just a matter of seconds, this peaceful night is about to be disturbed.
Okay. Ooh, what was that?
Out of nowhere, a white, translucent, human-like figure can be seen walking right past the kitchen table before disappearing from view. The figure is only visible briefly,
Ooh.
but its pale and almost transparent appearance certainly gives it the look of a ghostly apparition wandering through the kitchen. Considering this was supposedly captured in the same house where the cabinet mysteriously opened a month earlier, it's easy to see why Sita might connect the two incidents. A skeptic
Yeah.
who the figure was simply a person caught strangely by the security camera, or that the footage was staged altogether.
Well,
But if
where's...
neither of those explanations applies, then whatever walked through Sita's kitchen becomes considerably harder to account
Yeah,
for.
exactly.
Sita still has no idea what happened here, or who the ghostly figure may have been, but we can only hope whoever or whatever it was won't be visiting her house again anytime soon.
Man. Ooh. Okay.
On January 14th, 2026, a TikTok user by the name of jswan24 posted a video which shows him at his place of work when he suddenly becomes distracted by something he sees elsewhere in the building. He pulls out his phone and starts recording, and it's here where something absolutely baffling occurs right in front of the uploader's eyes. At this point in the video, we see who I assume is the uploader's co-worker opening a door and proceeding to head into the building. He walks inside and continues down the hallway, but then, seemingly like magic, completely disappears from view. Understandably, the uploader seems completely shocked by what he's just witnessed. Unfortunately, the video ends shortly after the strange moment occurs, so we never get to see what happened next or whether the man was still somewhere nearby. Some commenters have suggested the effect could have been created through a reflection, which may explain why the man seems to vanish so suddenly from this particular angle. There's also the possibility the entire encounter was staged, but if neither explanation applies, then watching someone seemingly disappear right in front of you would undoubtedly be a surreal experience. So is this simply a clever reflection creating an illusion, or does the video actually show someone straight up disappearing on camera? I'd love to.
It looks... If it is, it's a great optical illusion. Wow. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that.
The video actually shows someone straight up disappearing on camera. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on this one, so be sure to leave a comment down below.
Huh. Wow.
Over on Facebook, the official page for the old historic
I'm stumped,
Harrington
guys.
Hospital posted a video which showcases some of the creepy and unexplained events allegedly occurring inside the building. In the description of the post, the page writes that the footage was captured on security cameras, and at the time of the recording, all of the windows were closed and nobody was inside the building. Take a look and see what was filmed.
is that? What is that? Did you guys see that? Whoa. Did you guys just see that?
Two doors seemingly open and close all on their own, while what looks like a balloon lying on the floor suddenly begins flying wildly around the area. With the window supposedly closed and nobody around to disturb anything, it's difficult to tell what could have caused so much movement seemingly out of nowhere. Of course, there could be a fairly normal explanation we simply can't see from the security footage. Air currents or pressure changes inside the building might potentially account for some of the movement, although seeing both the doors and the balloon moving around definitely makes for a peculiar sight.
Yeah.
Later on, the team posted a second video filmed at the hospital, this one also showing some truly bizarre activity.
What was that?
Right away, you can see what almost looks like a head peeking out from behind the wall. It remains partially concealed, making it impossible to get a clear look at whoever or whatever it might be. Once again, just like with the first clip we watched, there was allegedly nobody inside the building when this footage was captured. If the hospital really was empty, the second clip is arguably even harder to account for. The figure certainly looks human from this distance, so either someone was actually inside, despite the uploader's claims, the footage was staged, or there may be something much stranger lurking within the old hospital.
Whoa.
So what in the world is going on at the old historic Harriman Hospital? Is the building genuinely haunted, or is there a more ordinary explanation hiding somewhere behind all of this strange activity?
I'm gonna go with Jason Hawes of Ghost Hunters. Says, I don't usually say this very often, but I will say this. I do believe the place is haunted. I believe the place is haunted, guys. That's just me.
Next up, we'll be taking a look at another video uploaded to the US Department of War's website, which showcases some truly mind-boggling footage of a potential UFO caught on camera. The video in question was filmed on April 12, 2021, and spans nearly 5 minutes in length. It's quite an interesting and head-scratching piece of footage, so let's take a look, shall we?
Ooh. It's really a boogieing down those mountains. And it looks like that's just a shadow. Look at that. Okay, I'll take that back. That's not a shadow. That's an object. But what object? Whoa.
Throughout the duration of the full-color, high-quality footage, we watch as a black spherical object moves at a remarkably fast speed over what appears to be a mountainous region. The object seems to maintain a steady path as the camera tracks it from a distance, yet there's very little about its appearance to indicate exactly what we're looking at. There isn't a huge amount of context given alongside this video, leaving us with more questions than answers. What makes it especially intriguing, however, is the fact that it was released through an official US government website as footage of an unidentified anomalous phenomenon.
Yeah.
Even without much additional information, watching this mysterious black sphere speeding across the landscape is definitely a fascinating sight. Of course, unidentified doesn't necessarily mean extraterrestrial.
True.
There could be a conventional explanation for the object, which simply isn't apparent from the footage alone. but without enough information to confidently identify it, its true nature remains something of a mystery. So if you're a skeptic when it comes to aliens and UFOs, does this video make you feel a little unsure? Or do you think there's a perfectly ordinary explanation for whatever was captured flying over this region?
I'm not sure what to think. It could be just a regular jet, or it could be a bird or something.
On June 2nd, 2026, a woman named Melissa Hassett posted a video to her TikTok account in which she was simply trying to enjoy a day at Hilton Head Island Beach when her life suddenly began to resemble something out of a horror movie.
Ooh.
Melissa explains that seemingly out of nowhere, a strange woman approached her and her family and asked if she could take a picture of them. Nothing too unusual there perhaps, but what the woman apparently did afterward was far more bizarre, as Melissa claimed she then disappeared into the ocean.
This lady comes up to us, asks us if she wants us to take a picture of us, and then she disappears in the ocean with two dead things hanging from each side of her. I have to stay and watch out. You see that? Do I show what the ring is, or? And she's by herself. It's not very small.
I mean, they must know this water.
Jeremy. You don't know the water.
You don't know.
She's standing up.
She's in below the grate on the ice.
Jeremy, tell her sharks are out. Is she coming back yet? That was very, very dumb.
It might be her home.
Jeremy, she might turn into a mermaid. Just wait a minute. Where is it? Do you see her still? What did she have in each of her hand? A dead fish? Did she go under?
Did she go under? Yeah.
She's gone. Here. Here, she's gone. Here, she's gone.
Ooh.
Melissa goes on to explain that the mysterious woman had what appeared to be two dead things hanging from her as she made her way toward the water. She then continued walking farther and farther out into the sea until eventually disappearing from view. A stranger approaching your family before casually walking out into the ocean while carrying what appeared to be dead animals isn't exactly something you'd expect to encounter during a relaxing day at the beach.
No.
In an update video, she says the police were called following the incident, yet no body was reportedly found during the following week. This raises the obvious question of where the woman actually went after walking so far out into the water.
Well, yeah.
There may be a perfectly ordinary explanation. Perhaps she was an experienced swimmer who eventually made her way somewhere else along the shoreline.
Maybe she was.
Or Melissa simply lost sight of her once she got far enough away. But with no body reportedly being recovered, we're left without a clear answer as to what ultimately happened to her. And that's what makes this encounter so haunting. A mysterious woman approaches a family on the beach, carrying two dead fish, asks to take their picture, and then simply walks straight out into the ocean
Yeah, I'd
until
say
nobody
no.
can see her anymore. If Melissa's account is accurate, and police really did search the area without finding any trace of her, then where exactly did she go? Whatever the answer may be, I think I'll be keeping a much closer eye on the water the next time I'm at the beach.
Yeah. That's creepy.
At the start of this TikTok video posted by user PepsiWiz2001, the videographer, who is the uploader's sister and is filming inside his new home, explains that she has been hearing some creepy noises coming from down in the basement for quite a while. She then takes her phone around the basement to walk us through the area and see if she can get to the bottom of these strange noises. And it doesn't take long for things to get really weird.
Huh? No, 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 no. You gotta be. What the hell? This isn't funny.
At first, you can hear a knocking sound coming from somewhere nearby, before the light suddenly turns off by itself. When the videographer tries to turn it back on, the light switch somehow no longer works. Moments later, a strange shadow can also be seen coming from one of the only rooms where light is still on. She simply stands there in silence, unsure of what to do before this happens.
Oh, thank God. Hello?
All of the lights suddenly come right back on. It's definitely bizarre, but at least now she has some light down there and is no longer completely shrouded in darkness. And just when she might have thought this real-life nightmare was over.
This isn't funny. What the... Hello? Hello? I'm coming in. Skittles.
Just like at the start of the video, more strange knocking noises can be heard coming from somewhere in the basement. At this point, the videographer is becoming increasingly unnerved, and whatever is causing all of this activity seemingly has one last scare prepared for her.
Okay, this is getting weird. What?
This is a basement? Wow.
Is that the chair? Oh, God. I'm getting out of this place.
This time, an office chair sitting inside another room suddenly tips over by itself. With the lights behaving strangely, unexplained knocking coming from different parts of the basement, and now furniture apparently moving on its own, it's easy to understand why she would want to get out of there.
Yeah.
A second video was uploaded a little later, this time filmed by the owner of the house, the first videographer's brother, as he conducts an investigation of his own down in the basement.
So this...
Sister took that damn video every single night at the same time this knocking starts. Terrifying the first few days, but now it's just annoying the hell out of us. Yup, I hear ya. Hey. Nothing. Always nothing.
Wow.
Pretty much as soon as he heads downstairs to begin his search, something happens. Just like his sister heard before him, the uploader hears the same mysterious knocking sound. This time seemingly coming from a door, despite nobody being inside the room. Nevertheless, he decides to continue investigating, which leads to an even stranger series of events.
Brand new house, too. And now this door is open. To the creepy ass. God damn it. What the? Oh my god.
A door leading to the space underneath the stairs is suddenly standing wide open, despite apparently being closed beforehand. The uploader goes over to investigate, but before he can get very far, the door violently slams shut right in front of his face. Then, just a few seconds later, it slowly creaks open again on its own. Of course, with this much activity happening across two separate videos, it's fair to question whether everything we're seeing was deliberately staged. Knocking could be produced by someone out of view.
True.
Doors and furniture could potentially be manipulated, and the strange behavior of the lights could have been set up beforehand. Without another camera showing us the entire basement,
True,
There's
the
no
lights.
real way to rule any of this out.
Yeah, the lights
But
might
if the
be on
brother
another
and sister
circuit.
really did capture these events as they happened, then something seriously strange appears to be going on beneath their new home. Whether it's paranormal or simply a very convincing hoax is up for you to decide. But personally, I definitely think twice before going down into that basement alone again.
Well, I'd definitely say they need to get their basement blessed. Heck, I say they need to get their whole house blessed. 4.
This video was posted to the YouTube channel The Alien Archive and showcases a series of old photographs supposedly documenting a truly bizarre discovery made many years ago. According to the uploader, the photographs were taken somewhere in the Laurentian Mountains and show something sure to leave your jaw dropped. Rather than seeing the discovery firsthand, we watch as the videographer films physical photographs supposedly taken at the scene. And what appears in those pictures is definitely strange, to say the least.
Oh, we got us a Patina 99 camera. Oh my. I don't know. They could easily be dummies.
Throughout the video, we're shown several photographs of what appears to be a lifeless alien body lying somewhere in the mountains. The pictures capture this strange humanoid from multiple different angles, giving us a closer look at its unusual body and what appear to be some of its remains. The age and degraded quality of the photographs definitely add to their eerie appearance, but they also make it much harder to determine exactly what we're looking at. While the supposed body looks surprisingly convincing at first glance, it could still be some kind of prop or model deliberately placed in the mountains before the photographs were taken.
I think it is.
And without much information surrounding the original source of these images, there's no real way to confirm when they were taken or whether the discovery was genuine. Even so, there's something deeply bizarre about looking through these old photographs and seeing this strange, human-like body apparently lying motionless somewhere in the Laurentian Mountains. If this was a hoax, whoever created the figure certainly put some effort into making it look convincing. The fact we're only seeing photographs of the supposed discovery rather than original footage also makes it much more difficult to judge exactly what happened.
Yeah, that's true.
Personally, I'm not entirely sure what to make of this one. The supposed alien looks quite eerie and convincing in some of these photographs, but there's also very little here to prove they documented genuine discovery. Could these simply be old photographs of an elaborate fake?
I think it is.
Really stumble across something extraordinary in the Laurentian Mountains all those years ago? Be sure to leave a comment and let me know.
Yeah, I think this is a hoax. They look too propish. They look like fake figures. I'm back, was watching on phone while eating butterfly shrimp. Yeah, nice. Okay, that does it, dude. If you ever come down my way, I am taking you to Shoney's in Henrietta. Friday they had their seafood, and Saturday they have their surf and turf. So yeah. If you ever come down on the weekend, if you ever decide to come down and visit me one way or another on the weekend, or maybe if you even get a job transfer around where Oklahoma is, I'm definitely bringing you to Shoney's, dude. And we're eating buffet there. Okay.
Millions of people all around the world take the metro every single day, whether it's to get to work, visit friends and family, or simply make their way around the city.
Yeah, I remember taking the metro in Washington. That was interesting. You had to have your pass ticket to go through, and yeah, once you got off the metro, you turned it in and it expired. Once you went back in the metro, you had to get a new pass ticket. Now that was interesting. Once you had that pass ticket, you could ride wherever you needed to go. Okay. Yeah, supposedly going back to my uncle's boat for one day next Wednesday, mostly for a beach trip and boat ride. Gonna see how the weather will be. Okay.
And anyone who regularly uses public transportation knows you can encounter some pretty strange things along the way.
Yeah.
But imagine looking out the window during an otherwise ordinary journey and seeing someone or something standing on the platform that you definitely weren't expecting to see. This TikTok video was filmed by someone riding the metro on a seemingly normal day. The videographer films out the window and everything appears to be perfectly fine. However, that all changes around the 42-second mark when this appears. Did you see it?
No.
The video moves pretty fast, but if you take a good look at this part of the footage right here, you'll be able to see what appears to be some sort of ghostly woman standing on the platform, staring at the passing train. The mysterious woman is dressed in a white robe and has long black hair. Sadly, because of how fast the train was moving, we don't get a very good look at her, but the brief glimpse we do get is still incredibly eerie. Of course, there's every chance this was simply a real woman standing on the platform, whose appearance happened to look especially creepy as the train sped past.
I mean, I've seen plenty of goths that look like that.
The time she's on screen certainly make it easy for our minds to fill in the details. There's also the possibility the encounter was deliberately staged.
True.
But if neither of those possibilities is the case, then the sight of this pale figure silently watching the train pass by becomes much harder to account for. Ghost or not, she definitely makes an otherwise ordinary metro ride feel a whole lot creepier.
Yeah.
Working as a taxi driver, you'll likely come into contact with all sorts of weird people. Honestly, it's kind of expected when you take the job. However, I'm willing to bet this particular driver never would have predicted just how strange one of his late-night shifts would become. The security camera footage shows the taxi driver simply driving around town in the middle of the night, presumably looking for someone who needs a ride. However, little does he know he may already have a passenger sitting in his car.
Ooh. Looks like he picked up a ghost. And there she goes. There it goes. And there it is again. Ooh. That's eerie.
Throughout the footage, you can see what appears to be a ghostly figure slowly manifesting in the middle seat of the taxi, completely unbeknownst to the driver. The mysterious passenger seems to be wearing some sort of dark robe and has a pale, almost skeleton-like face.
Yeah, it does.
Then, just as mysteriously as it appeared,
it disappears.
The figure completely vanishes from view.
Yeah.
Almost as if it was never sitting there in the first place. The driver never seems to notice anything unusual during the encounter, making the footage even more chilling to watch.
Yeah.
Of course, there's one major reason to be skeptical of this particular video. It comes from Japan, where there's a sizable industry built around producing staged paranormal videos designed to look like genuine ghost encounters. With that in mind, there's a very real chance the ghostly passenger was simply added to the footage as part of an elaborate fake. But if we take the video at face value, I can't even begin to imagine how terrifying it must have been for the driver to watch this footage afterward.
Yeah.
And realize some unknown figure had seemingly been sitting inside his taxi without him ever noticing.
Yeah.
Hopefully none of my subscribers watching this video work as taxi drivers, because after seeing something like this, you may find yourself checking the backseat a little more often from now on.
Yeah. Holy moly. Ooh, that's one.
Chris, aka Urbex Hill, is a popular YouTuber who frequently
Chris,
uploads
Urbex
videos of
Hill,
himself exploring abandoned and allegedly haunted locations.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do a reaction to some of his live videos. He just released one not too long ago. I guess I'll have to do a reaction to some of his videos. He's got some he's been on some interesting adventures, that's for sure.
In this particular video, Chris ventures out to the Mount Auburn Elementary School, which was built in 1922.
Oh,
he explains
yeah.
that the school is an incredibly dangerous place to explore, as the air inside the building is toxic and the 2 staircases leading to the upper floor are completely inaccessible.
That's right.
Chris, being the committed explorer he is, decides to investigate anyway, which proves to be quite a frightening experience, as I'm sure you probably expected.
Oh yeah.
For the first little while, Chris makes his way through the dilapidated building. The abandoned school certainly has an eerie atmosphere, but so far, nothing overtly terrifying appears or happens. Until...
What you just saw was the dark outline of a person whom I assume lives in the building. Here's more footage of the person caught on camera, but what puzzles me is that if this is a person, how does their head disappear on camera as I pan past them?
Yeah.
As I scroll back and forth through the footage, you can see that the head seems to disappear. The last thing I want to point out is the chair at the end of the hall. It seemed to either move or have some type of dark, shadowy figure covering it that disappeared as I got closer.
Ooh.
First, we see what appears to be a person standing ominously further inside one of the rooms. The same mysterious person is then spotted standing at the end of a hallway, where their head almost seems to disappear from their body.
Yeah.
That part is likely just the poor camera quality combined with the darkness.
Maybe.
But seeing an unknown person standing motionless inside an abandoned school is creepy enough on its own. Then, as you just saw, a chair can be seen seemingly turning all by itself, despite nobody being close enough to move it. Even stranger, there appears to be a small shadowy figure nearby when this happens. There could be a normal reason for the chair moving, and with such dark, grainy footage, it's difficult to know whether the smaller figure is actually a person or simply something in the environment being mistaken for one.
True.
Considering Chris appears to be exploring an abandoned and potentially dangerous building, an actual person hiding somewhere inside would arguably be just as alarming as anything paranormal. And there's a good reason to consider that possibility. A couple of months earlier, Chris explored this exact same school and captured another strange encounter. At the time, he presumably believed he was alone inside the building, completely unaware of what appeared to be watching him from nearby.
Oh my god, these stairs aren't any better. Jesus Christ.
I don't think he has anything to do with it, Chris.
Oh my god, these stairs aren't any better. Jesus Christ.
Ooh. shadow person. Yeah.
Right here, you can see what looks like an unknown person seemingly stalking Chris as he approaches the stairs. The figure stays behind him while Chris continues exploring, apparently without realizing someone else may be following him through the abandoned school. Whether this person had anything to do with the figure captured during Chris's later visit is impossible to know. But the fact that he appears to have encountered unknown people inside the same abandoned building on separate occasions definitely makes the situation more concerning.
Yeah.
Ghosts are one thing, but unknowingly exploring a decaying, toxic building while a complete stranger silently follows you from the darkness might be even more terrifying.
Yeah.
Thankfully, Chris managed to make it out safely, but after seeing what was seemingly lurking around this school during more than one of his visits, I'd definitely think twice before ever going back inside.
Well, yeah. People nothing. I think he caught some ghosts on video. I think that's what he did.
And that was 17 scary videos. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, then subscribe for more scary content. My name is Sir Spooks, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Alright. Hey guys, how do you like that? I actually went through the entire reaction and I did not off once. Like that exercise is I think that exercise I'm getting from walking from the parking lot into the CNC machine classroom and all is paying off. I think I am starting to lose some more weight, which is good because I need to. And I'm feeling a lot more lively nowadays. And especially when I come home, especially when I come home from class and I jump in the shower and get rinsed off. That really does seem to help out a lot. So, yeah. All right, there's that. All right, we're going to do one more. And it's going to be Goose Pimples. And sleep is canceled, okay? It's Goose Pimples. Not So Scary Comp version 3. All right. Let's see. Let's see what this is all about. You guys ready? This is going to be the last video for tonight. At least on this. So, without further ado, away we go.
Number 3. Train Station Layers. On the 30th of May, a very unsettling clip was shared on TikTok that has been doing the rounds all over the internet lately, with thousands of people swearing blind that they have just witnessed a genuine paranormal encounter on the underground. But before you believe the hype, I should warn you that pretty much everyone covering this story has left out one massive, glaring detail that changes the entire picture.
Oh yeah, we just saw this on Sir Spooks not too long ago.
According to the paranormal channels covering this footage, it was captured in the Chambery station in Madrid.
Madrid.
A train station that has been completely out of service for decades. Back in the summer of 1966, transport bosses decided to bolt the doors on this underground stop for good. For nearly 60 years now, those old platforms have been left completely abandoned in the pitch black. But because that ghost station is sandwiched directly on the line between two busy, active stops, regular passenger carriages still go hurling past the bricked up arches every single day without pulling the brakes. Now, locals riding that line know all about the hidden tunnel, and it has become a bit of a daily ritual for commuters to whip out their phones and film out the carriage's window as they rocket through.
Ooh.
Normally, you cannot see a sausage because the train is shifting so fast that if you take that video and drop the speed way down, you get a clear look at an obsolete, frozen in time station. And as it turns out, dropping the speed way down is the only thing the other compilation channels would have had to do to spot the not so hidden detail we'll talk about in a minute. But instead, they decided to focus on the grim piece of local folklore that's been floating around for decades. The myth goes that shortly before the station was shut down permanently, a young lass fell from a carriage and lost her life right on those very tracks. Nobody has ever officially verified the story with authority records, but it has definitely primed people to expect something paranormal down there. And that brings us right back to this recent footage, which has got daily commuters feeling proper spooked. But before we go over the devil in the details, here's the clip exactly how it was shown on the other channels.
Yeah, we saw this on Star Spooks. Yeah, there she is. Yeah, we saw this on Star Spooks.
Right as the carriage zooms past one of the old station archways, you can clearly spot what looks like a young girl wearing a white gown, just standing motionless on the platform edge and staring dead at the train. Seeing as that entire subterranean section is sealed tight from the outside world, not a single living soul had any business being down there. Thousands of viewers who watched the clip instantly became convinced that the camera had caught the restless spirit from the old railway legend. And with the bloke who uploaded it going completely radio silent with zero updates since, the paranormal channels have been treating it as a classic unsolved mystery. But while the other channels covering this story left it at that, we decided to scrutinize the clip ourselves. And when we slowed it right down to check it frame by frame, we spotted something dodgy that completely changes the story. If you step through the video one frame at a time, the supernatural illusion completely falls to pieces. Watch the screen right here as we move through the footage step by step.
Okay. What's that?
In this exact frame, you are looking at genuine footage of the dark section interior as the train rushes past. There is no ghost, just an empty platform. But click forward just one singular frame and watch what happens. The entire video suddenly turns misty, almost like a fog has rolled over the lens. Why does it do that? Because someone has edited an image of a ghost right on top of the original train footage, and then massively dropped the opacity so the figure looks translucent and spooky. You can literally watch the bottom half of the girl's white dress abruptly clip into existence as we step from one frame to the next. It's a clever illusion at normal speed, but the moment you bring the video to a massive halt and check the individual frames, the digital overlay becomes completely obvious. So while the abandoned Chambery station might generally have a dark history and a proper eerie atmosphere, we can safely say that the only thing lurking in this video is a bit of clever digital editing. But what do you reckon, mate? Even knowing it is fake, would you ever fancy taking a ride for a pitch black ghost station on your own?
Heck yeah, that'd be fun.
Down below.
Heck yeah, man, that'd be fun. I knew it. That looks, if something is too good to be true, it probably is. There you go.
Number 2, Ghost of a Salesman. Curtis and his friend were checking out the haunted interior of an abandoned office building near their homes. completely oblivious to what was lurking in the shadows.
Okay.
Luckily for you and me, though, his camera was paying attention. Take a look.
Yeah. Okay.
One by one nelo kuzul kano nu one kawi hay no ka mga taban.
Did you see that? Standing in one of the rooms off to the side, concealed by darkness, was the clear outline of a human figure. According to other channels who covered this story, the abandoned building itself is no stranger to creepy happenings. Apparently, there were many scattered reports from other people who had visited the building, and they felt the presence of something sinister, with some claiming to have even seen figures drifting from room to room. Also, they say, could that figure be one of those lost souls? After all, when Curtis panned the camera back round to the room the figure was seen in, there was nothing there, right?
One by one nelo kuzul kano nu one kawi hay no ka mga taban.
There wasn't.
Well, you see, we spotted something no other compilation channel mentioned. Did you see it too? After he replays the scary parts a few times, pay close attention as he resumes the footage. There it is, the jump cut we've been looking for. So,
jump
let me
cut.
Explain. As he shows the room the first time, one of his mates is inside the room wearing a black cloak. But as he pans the camera to his other friend, there is a clear jump cut on the wall. That cut in the footage allows for his friend to move out of the room so they can film it again and pretend that the ghost vanished. Pretty straightforward, right? You know what would be even more straightforward? If he used all those replays of the scary part to sneak in a subtle jump cut instead of splashing it all over the wall for the world to see. That's how he would never get caught.
Exactly.
Too late. You've been debunked.
Ah ha ha!
And if the debunk didn't make it obvious enough, maybe his gear is the final piece of the puzzle. He definitely knows what he's doing, and he has all the equipment to prove it.
Yep. That goes to show you he's a video professional. So yeah. But as far as joining video together, he still has a little bit left to learn.
Number 1. Not so ghostly wife. This video has been absolutely everywhere lately. A bloke named Buzo has been capturing some seemingly terrifying events, claiming that a sinister entity is haunting the neighborhood, according to the narrative being spun by all the other compilation channels. His house is being infested by the supernatural presence. The story goes that it all started when he heard strange tapping at his door. When he approached, the handle started turning on its own, but when he opened it, there was no one to be seen. The terror didn't stop there though. Let's look at the clip exactly how it was presented to the masses.
Amigos, están escuchando que están somatando una puerta. Están tocando la puerta. Vamos aquí. Hola.
Okay. What in the world?
Oh my God.
proper creepy stuff, right?
Yeah.
He hears more noises, and when he pans the camera, the terrifying shape of a woman straight out of the Grudge movie, with dark hair covering her face, peeks out from the corner of the living room. He runs away, absolutely bricking it, completely spooked out of his mind, and sprinting up the stairs. You can see exactly why so many paranormal channels have been treating this as a genuine, terrifying haunting. But every single one of those channels missed a few massive, glaring details that completely blows this ghost story out of the water. Before we even look at the footage, let us take a quick butchers at the creator's TikTok profile. His handle is @DiazBuzo, and if you look right there in his bio, he explicitly mentions, quote, humor and a touch of mystery. The dude is quite literally telling his audience that this is a bit of a laugh, yet somehow the other channels completely ignore this and push it as a real video. But even if you missed his bio, the video itself is absolutely littered with dodgy editing. Let us break down the jump cuts they used to pull off this cheeky little stunt.
Oh dear.
Right there at 23 seconds in, we have our very first jump cut. This little edit gives his wife, the ghost, just enough time to nip out of the storage room before he opens the door. She then slyly moves over to the right corner in the living room for the next scare. Then we hit the second jump cut at exactly 49 seconds. This is so his wife, ghost, it's a ghost, my bad. Anyway, this cut allows her to leg it out of the living room so we can pan around and show everyone that there is absolutely
nothing
no one
there. Yeah.
Now, we have a third jump cut right at the end of 1 minute and 6 second mark. And honestly, I have absolutely no idea why he even cut it here, but he left behind a massive clue. When you step through the video, the lighting and colour on the wall clearly shifts. By the way, if you're watching this on YouTube from a laptop, you can verify this yourself. Just pause the video, use the comma and full stop keys on your keyboard to move forward or back one singular frame at a time. This is for UK keyboards. Not sure what the keys are for other style of keyboards. We're pointing this out because you can spot these dodgy edits yourself and even help us out in the future videos if we're missing something. And finally, the fourth jump cut happens at 1 minute and 12 seconds. This final edit gives his lovely wife just enough time to sprint upstairs and pretend that she has again been fast asleep the entire time.
Yeah.
And once again, if you use our handy little frame by frame trick, the sudden colour changes on the wall from one frame to the next is plain as day.
Mm-hmm.
So, while it makes for a brilliant bit of entertainment, I think we can safely say that the only spirit haunting this bloke's house is a bit of cheeky sense of humour and a basic video editing app. Busted.
Yeah. Busted.
Have you seen a clip on another channel that smells very fishy? Reckon they're
I've
pulling
seen
the
a
wool
few.
over your eyes. Let's catch them out. Head over to scaryvideos.yt and chuck the link into our contact form. We'll take a look and see if it's the real deal, or just a big steaming lie. In this new series, we're exposing the fakes. Normally we just ignore them and continue to search for the real deal, but we thought you'd love a bit of extra content. Don't worry though, we'll still upload the clips we cannot explain on the usual playlist. In the meantime though, stay in the dark.
Oh man, oh that's good. That was good, man. That was good. All right. Oh man. Okay. All right, it's 8 o'clock, and I'll tell you what, I'm getting hungry, guys. So that's gonna be it for me for right now. Hang on. All right, Zach, time for you to go. I'll get you out summertime later. All right. Okay. Yeah, that's gonna do it for me. Yeah, it's 8 o'clock. I'm getting hungry, and I heard my dad watching X-Files, so yeah. Sean, I'll probably see you in a little bit, but I'm gonna see what Dad wants to eat. Okay. All right, guys. Hey, thanks for being being with me. Sean, thank you for being in the chat. And for those of you who are watching this after the live broadcast, thank you very much. Thank you very much for watching. If you like what you see, please leave a like and subscribe. And like I said, I'll probably not right now, but later on, before I go to bed, I'll leave the original links to these videos in the description box below. So, all right, guys. Good night. And don't worry, just because it's the end of the weekend doesn't mean you won't see me again. You'll probably see me again. I'm starting to get used to my new schedule, and like my dad said, you know, the first 2 weeks back to classes are usually hectic, and then you get used to your schedule and your surroundings, and what's the best time to head out to campus and what's the best time to head back home. So yeah, you'll be seeing more of me soon. But like Brick, this YouTube channel is going to be a hobby of mine now. And if anything, you'll probably see more on Shadow Someone's Garage pretty soon as well when I have time. Because I'm going to get out there and I'm going to clean out the hobby desk. And if we ever do get at everything up and running to go, Dad and I have been talking about maybe possibly building a workshop out in the backyard. So yeah, that'll be fun. So good night, guys, at least for now, and thanks for watching. You know, until then, I'll see you in the next video. Until then, you guys stay safe, stay cool, stay hydrated, stay awesome.